Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are notoriously known for being a buggy mess when they release. But with the recent release of Pokemon Legends ZA, I decided to finally dust off the copy of Pokemon Violet that I have had since release, because I don't have any friends and need to grind up the entire Pokédex by myself. I decided to do a shiny only run of Pokemon Violet because self-imposed challenges are fun, and I hate myself anyhow due to my abysmal shiny luck. But without any further ado, let's just dive right in, shall we? Okay, so first things first. I only started this shiny only run after I obtained the Winged King and all his treasures of ruin. Because after spending over 30 hours shiny hunting in the first area of Pokemon Violet and not getting anything whatsoever, I decided to do an even dumber challenge. I'm going to be using only the Winged King to see how painful it is to beat the entirety of a Pokemon game with a level 100 shiny who is in its rebellious teens phase and will never listen to you. And trust me, this is just as painful as it sounds. Due to Koraidon counting as a gift Pokemon, it doesn't have your trainer ID. Meaning Koraidon will not listen to you until you reach a certain gym badge level, which will be the final gym badge that is held by Grisha. So that'll be the last thing I get during the main story, is the gym badge held by Grisha. Which might be a bit of a problem, since I am running off of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet progression guide made by the community due to the level curves of everything. Due to Grisha being the last thing I'm able to fight means that I have to do the False Dragon Titan, the Fairy Team Starbase, and the Fighting Team Starbase without having a proper chance to attack my opponent unless Koraidon feels like it. The Fairy and False Dragon Titans really sucking due to the fact that Koraidon is part dragon, and due to it being dragon fighting really sucks because it is 4 times weak to Fairy in that regards. One last thing before we truly kick off this challenge properly is that for every major fight we have, once we begin the 3 separate storylines, I'll do a base summary of how many turns it took Koraidon to win that fight. And I'm not counting any potential resets from later fights as well, just how many turns it took on the winning run of the fight. And just to show how long I've just been sitting here mindlessly pressing the A button, waiting for Koraidon to wake up from his nap time because he really likes nap time. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. Here's one of the first Team Star grunts you fight at the beginning of the game, where Koraidon took a nap, woke up a couple turns later, immediately went back to sleep, and repeated this process again for a 3rd time. Yeah. After we beat up the first Team Star Grunt, we're given a Terra Orb to help fight the second one, which for Koraidon here is just throwing a pebble onto a massive pit of gravel. It's not really needed, to be honest. After that, we're introduced to the 3 main storylines of this game. First one being Victory Road, standard beat all 8 gym badges, challenge the Elite Four, all that. Next is the Path of Legends, where you face off against fearsome Titan Pokemon to strengthen your ride Pokemon, Miraidon. And lastly, Starfall Street. The standard defeat the big bad evil team plotline. Only this time it's just a bunch of truants instead of something like the Mafia or a bunch of eco-terrorists. Before I start discussing every fight and all that, if you like this kind of video and want to see more like in the future, be sure to let me know by leaving a like on this video and commenting down below. Any little bit of interaction for the channel helps a lot. But without any further ado, let's dive in, shall we? Going off the progressive level curve, our first stop is the Cortando gym to face off against Katie, the bug-type gym leader. Before we do that, however, I decided to do a quick little Google search to see where I could find leftovers items, just to try and help prolong my survivability in battles. Unfortunately for me, the only Delibird delivery that has leftovers is in Cascarafa. So I decided to make a long journey from Mesagosa to Cascarafa just to get a single helping of leftovers, accidentally triggering the story events for the Open Sky Titan and Team Star's Dark Crew as I did so. But with that minor feature out of the way, we finally properly start the challenge. I don't really know what to say here for these first few major story fights. They're not really that noteworthy outside of Koraidon's want to take another nap every once in a while. But for Katie at least, it took us 17 turns to get off 3 attacks. A rough start, but nowhere near as bad as later battles, believe me. After defeating the Bug-type gym leader, we returned to Mesagosa and decided to take the exit to the eastern side to reach the land of the Stony Cliff Titan, a giant cloth who resides at the top of one of the mountains near Artisan. Round 1 of Cloth was simple enough. Koraidon took 6 turns to cause the Titan to retreat to its cavern where it holds its Herba Mystica that it was growing. And then when Arven arrived for round 2, it only took Koraidon 2 turns to listen and to take out the Stony Cliff Titan. Light work for the Winged King, as you all know. We get the sweet Herba Mystica here, which allows our ride Pokemon, Miraidon, to gain the ability to dash around the overworld, making transportations to new areas much easier and way less time consuming for us. Onwards to Artisan though, where we face off against Brassius, the Grass-type gym leader, after wrangling up a bunch of Sunflora first. Not really a challenge outside of Violet really struggling. I don't know why I got so laggy. I don't know if it was just due to the sheer amount of Sunflora that I had or what, but frames just started tanking right here. Brassius' fight took a bit of time, mainly due to Koraidon wanting to take another back-to-back napping session against Smoliv. And then another issue arose when I was unfortunately reminded that Brassius' truly Wudo has the ability Sturdy. So I couldn't one-shot it, so I had to wait for another reroll of the dice in order to take out Sudowoodo. It took 17 turns to beat as well. Same as Katie, even with the minor issue known as Sturdy. But with Brassius defeated, we return to the Pokemon Center nearer the next fight for us, Bombardier, the Open Sky Titan. Round 1 took Koraidon 7 turns to beat before he decided to wake up from his naps and actually fight. Napping sessions are going to be a bit of a frequent occurrence, if you haven't already guessed. As for Phase 2 of the fight, Koraidon never even attacked. Arven's Knackly took out the Open Sky Titan in 8 turns. While technically this is our second fastest fight, I wouldn't even consider it a Koraidon win due to the fact it never landed a single hit during Phase 2 at all. With the Open Sky Titan knocked out of the sky, we feed Miraidon the bitter Herba Mystica, which grants it access to swim across various bodies of water scattered around Paldea. But we aren't getting our feet wet just yet, as we dive, pun intended, into our next challenge. The first Team Star battle against the Sagan Squad and their boss, Giacomo. Giacomo? I don't know how to pronounce this, to be honest. The fight against the Grunt guarding the gate took Koraidon 10 turns to beat, including a back-to-back napping session near the beginning of the battle. But then the real problem arose.
I can't auto-battle.
Yup. Obedience ties over to auto-battling as well, which I did not know about until I attempted to begin the first Star Barrage fight. At first I thought it was just an issue of me not having 3 Pokemon on my team, so I tried bringing along a couple of the Shiny Treasures of Ruin as well. And that's how I found out that this was an obedience issue and not a party size issue. So I was put at a bit of a hard stop. With Koraidon unable to initiate the Star Barrage, I couldn't beat Giacomo. And if I couldn't beat Giacomo, I couldn't continue with the challenge. So I decided to do the only thing I could think of. And just grab the 2 Titan Pokemon I just defeated, Bombardier and Cloth. The pair of them, as well as the level 6 Quaxley I chose as my starter, these 3 special Pokemon would be the chosen challengers to fight against the Horde and allow Koraidon to handle the big boss himself. After a minor outfit change, I began the true fight. Star Barrage was easy enough, albeit Quaxley was way too underleveled for this fight, but with enough XP of it sitting idly in the party for a while, it should be fine enough to fight against the Shader Squad battle later on. Giacomo, on the other hand, despite only having 2 Pokemon in his party, took 12 turns for us to win the fight, 10 of which being spent on his Pawniard. A decent showing here of how annoying a disobedient Pokemon can be. After talking to Cassiopeia's supply worker, Penny, we get our reward. Bunch of Pokemon materials, some LP, and some new TMs as well. After that, we make our way to Levencia to face off against Iono, the electric-type gym leader. For that though, we gotta do a Nemona fight, which gave me 2 very specific fears going into this fight. First off, we got setup moves, specifically accuracy and evasion type moves, and the others being status moves, primarily Paralysis, Toxic. 3 out of the 4 fears are on here due to the fact that it draws out the fights even longer, causing Koraidon to potentially miss out on attacks on the rare opportunities it decides to actually listen to me. And Paralysis just adds other RNG to the pile, regardless of the accuracy evasions. So we have to deal with Paralysis on top of Koraidon listening to us. Poison is bad due to it chipping away at Koraidon's HP each turn, but leftovers can heal that. The poison damage from Toxic, though, will eventually make it so that we end up dying and can't finish fights fast enough due to its exponential scaling. We can't really out-heal something if it's just taking off half of health each turn. Our only chance to get rid of the lingering status effects without needing to grind up Terrasars to turn ourselves into that specific Terra typing is to hope that Koraidon decides to take a nap. Because rest, or a disobedient snap, is the only way to bypass the other lingering status effects, regardless of our typing. Back to the actual fight, however, and the battle against Nemona shows us the precise sphere of evasion sack. Due to Koraidon falling asleep early on, and it allowed her Rock Ruff to stack up a bunch of double teams. And due to that, and her Palmy's ability Static, it took us 14 turns to win that fight. And we still have to deal with Mr. Walksabout before we fight Iono. The 3 Pokemaniac fights took a combined 17 turns to beat. 15 of them being on the second Pokemaniac doing a combination of Paralysis and Naps. I healed up the minor damage taken and readied myself for the longest fight that you'll see in this entire challenge. Iono, the streamer. This fight took so long that I witnessed one of Iono's Pokemon run out of power points on its hardest hitting attack, according to the AI, and then they had to pivot to using a different move. Like, most of these fights took like 7 to 8 minutes to beat for the most part. Iono's took almost 20 minutes to beat, due to a combination of factors such as paralysis and Koraidon's obedience issues. I'm just letting the entire Iono fight play out for this entire section, talking about Iono, Mr. Walksabout, and all that, because, jeez, was it mind-numbing just sitting there mindlessly pressing the A button, hoping for Koraidon to actually land a hit. I genuinely started to have regrets doing this challenge while waiting for this fight to end, and honestly thought about soft resetting to hope for better RNG after I saw her Belly Bolt run out of sparks, which meant I was over 20 turns into this fight on just Belly Bolt alone. Once the fight ended, it took us 47 turns to beat Iono, having to battle against obedience, paralysis, and confusion to kill 4 Pokemon. 47 turns over the span of 20 minutes. And honestly, as of the time of me writing this, at least, technically this isn't even our worst fight yet. Both upcoming Team Star fights both give us an issue for completely different reasons. But after recording everything, this is all voiceover Kirby talking. Iono is our longest fight in this game. 47 turns over the course of 20 minutes. That is the longest fight by far, not counting any potential reset issues. Good lord. With Iono defeated, however, we return to the Pokemon Center outside of Arzon in order to fight Team Star's Shader Squad, ran by the fiery Mela. Grunt guarding the gate wasn't too awful. It took us 10 turns to beat on the first run, and 22 turns to beat on the second run. Why am I mentioning a second run? Because the game crashed halfway through the first run of the Star Barrage. No clue why it crashed. Just sort of did. But yeah, due to the extra levels gained during the Iono fight, Quaxley, officially now Quaxwell, was able to help out during the Star Barrage after saving my game again in case the game crashed. But onto the main fight against Bella, leader of the Shader Squad. Torkoal wasn't able to set up Sun for once, which is nice. But that's only due to Koraidon already setting up Sun beforehand. Not so nice, actually. 14 turns of naps and slaps later, we beat Mela of the Shader Squad, leaving us only 3 Team Star bosses left. But we aren't fighting them just yet. We still got a Titan Pokemon and a Gym Leader to face before going to Navi Squad. Let's get to the Lurking Steel Titan, because having another Titan to help out in Star Barrages will be nice, since I doubt Cloth or Bombardier will be able to keep up for the later Team Star fights. First round was easy enough, only taking 6 turns to cause Orthworm to retreat to the cave where it held the salty Herba Mystica, where Arven met us up and we began the second round, which Koraidon took down in 1 turn. No joke. Simplest fight yet, to be honest. 7 turns total, not too bad. After giving Miraidon a sandwich with a bit too much salt, it gained the ability to high jump. A useful terrain tool that'll give us access to more areas like where the Lurking Steel Titan resided, and in the various caverns that are scattered across Paldea. Quick detour first to catch Orthlim's side. We go back to Cascarafa, where we fight Kofu, the water-type gym leader. Or we're going to, as the moment we get there, he is bolting out of his gym and racing towards Port Maranata without his wallet. We're tasked by the gym attendant to bring back his wallet to him, so we hurry our way down there. After a minor roadblock known as Kofu's assistant, taking us 14 turns to beat, be it 13 turns or just on the float, so due to Gardon really wanting to take his nap, but let's not worry about that, shall we? We returned Kofu's wallet to him, and are now participating in an auction to win some prize, seaweed. Got the seaweed, gave it to Kofu, returned to Cascarafa, and have a brief run-in with Elite Four members Hassel and Ika. Before we healed up Koraidon in order to face the skilled chef himself, Kofu of Cascarafa, who was beaten in a measly 6 turns. His assistant was more of a hassle than him did. But with Kofu defeated, we are officially halfway through the challenge. Progression from here on out will be a bit more challenging as the opponents get better, stronger Pokemon. But we'll just have to wait and see for that one, won't we? One thing you might have not noticed in these fights is that I've been slowly building up Koraidon stats using various EV items and PowerPoint up items. Trying to make Koraidon a bit more bulky to hopefully help with these later fights, as well as boost its HP so that leftovers heals a bit more as well. This was mainly to try and deal with issues of matches being prolonged by either evasion or paralysis. But it could also just be a double-edged sword, especially when we already have over 340 health. I haven't made my way to Montenegro yet, so I don't have access to the Chansey supply store that gives me all the vitamins to make the true defensive built Koraidon. But for now, what few items I find throughout my journey should be more than enough. Well, that's what I would say, if it wasn't for the first true roadblock of this challenge. Atticus of Navi Squad, the boss of Team Star's Poison Field. Just by saying that should show you the reason why he is our first roadblock. The trainer guarding the gate was fine, but Atticus himself poses a real issue with his first Pokemon, Stuntank, who has the move Toxic. If anyone here hasn't watched my Pokemon Black with One Riolu challenge, Toxic puts us on a timer that we can't truly win. Its damage will scale up exponentially with each passing turn. The only way to counteract its ticking time bomb is by either having a poison or steel Terra typing, or by having Koraidon fall asleep the very turn that they're inflicted with toxic poison. Because, as I stated previously, all lingering status effects can be overwritten when the Pokemon falls asleep. The only problem is that one is RNG based, and the other is tied to accumulating Terra Shards. Something we don't really have, due to me selling all of the free Terra Shards I got from these Shiny Treasures of Ruin mystery gifts in order to buy an outfit for my trainer, so I'm not the default trainer model for this entire bloody game. But to also have better grade Pokeballs on hand so we can have it for the remaining tight fights coming forward. One thing I also did do before Atticus was go up to Montever's Chansey Supply Store in order to buy all the vitamins needed to fully make the defensive build Koraidon. but none of that helped in the end, as you clearly see. So I did the only thing I thought was necessary at this time. Taking Koraidon and sending it to my main profile on Pokemon Scarlet. And use all of the Terra Shards I have on that profile to give it the Poison Terra typing. And while at it, making sure that I could use some other moves in its arsenal so I could potentially use later on. And while doing this, I learned something. Something that could potentially change the way this challenge will proceed in the future. Koraidon can learn Sleep Talk. Sleep Talk, for those who aren't privy to Pokemon knowledge, allows the user to randomly pick one of its 3 other moves and use it while the user is asleep. Only question is whether or not Sleep Talk would actually work due to obedience issues or not. But we'll find out soon enough. And by soon enough, I mean immediately, as we are fighting Atticus again. Turn 1 was an instant Terra Poison regardless of what Koraidon actually did. But it did provide some valid information. Sleep Talk actually has a special disobedience dialogue, which I didn't know exists, and from what research I was doing, I did not see any sites that would show this as well. So that's pretty cool. What wasn't cool was the fact that I forgot to put leftovers back on Koraidon after it came back to Pokemon Violet. So that sucked. My only way of recovering health for this entire fight was if Koraidon decided to listen and use Drain Punch. So yeah, there was another attempt down the drain. No pun intended this time. With the added bonus of Muck spamming Mud Slap for the better part of 5 minutes, my Axew was completely destroyed. So that attempt was just a wash. With leftovers, however, it only took us 17 turns to beat Atticus, with most of that time being spent on both of the Reverunes that Atticus has on his team. But that is 60% of the Starfall Street storyline done. But it'll be a while, long while, till we fight the next Team Star boss. For now, we got more gym badges to get. Next gym badge on our list being for us to go to Medali and fighting the exceptional everyman, Larry. Since I memorized the special order by heart, yes, I'm serious, we can immediately dive into the gym battle against the exceptional everyman himself. Larry's team consists solely of normal types, which our fighting type Koraidon can easily handle. After an eye-watering 30 turns of unintentionally stalling out the Dunsparce, we bested Larry and then immediately are thrown into the next Momona fight, which only took 11 turns. Less than Larry, even though she technically has more Pokemon than Larry. Just the way the cards lay, I guess. I got this weird feeling that Gym Badge level also ties to disobedience checks. Or maybe Koraidon's just messing with me at this point, due to technically getting 3 attack chances in a row, only for the final one to be Sleep Talk or Koraidon woke up, which sucked, as it probably would have taken even less to defeat Nemona than it did if I had correctly predicted that Koraidon was going to wake up. But with that minor detour out of the way, it's time to head back up to Montenegro and face off against DJ Ron, who, after talking to Critical, I was rudely reminded that Ryan's gym test and the gym battle following it are all double battles. And I am forced to bring 2 Pokemon into this fight. I cannot enter with just Koraidon, I need to get another Pokemon. So I went back to the first area of the game, caught a Hoppip, which I named Friend, and brought it to Ron's battle to be sacrificed to all the Spooky Ghost types. and then immediately lost the first double battle due to the opposing Shuffet having Curse. So that sucked. Take 2, we took care of the first round in 3 turns, losing Friend along the way. Round 2 also took 3 turns as well since the Sleep Talk. Easily one of the best changes I could have made to help out with these fights so they're not taking ages. And the final round against Critical went down in 4 turns, despite Driftlim going down turn 1. Sadly, Friend didn't last past the first turn in any of the fights. Big sad. With that out of the way though, we can challenge the MC of RIP herself, Rhyme. And with Friend by my side, nothing can go wrong. 11 turns later, and Bayonet somehow living until the end of the battle, we bested Rhyme and proceeded on to the penultimate Titan fight, the Quaking Earth Titan. After healing up at the Pokemon Center in Cascarapa, we journey back through the Asado Desert and find Iron Treads, Quaking Earth Titan, a ground Steel-type Pokemon with stats akin to that of various sub-legendaries. Definitely a challenge to be sure. After a minor change to my moveset, due to Steel-type's resistant Dragon-type moves, I found it wise to replace Dragon Call with Drain Punch for this fight. It's time for round 1 against Iron Treads. 7 turns of knockoff and hitting ourselves later, we managed to get a successful hit off thanks to Sleep Talk, and then proceeded to round 2, where I forgot to heal up Koraidon from its nap. Whoops. Sadly, Sleep Talk wasn't the MVP as it has been, and Arvin Scoville took out Iron Treads for us in 4 turns. So we are currently 2-4 when it comes to Titan defeats. After nabbing some sour Urban Mystica from within the caves, Koraidon can finally turn to the air and fly. A much needed boost for our traversing capabilities. After going back to where we first found Iron Treads and catching it, we make our way all the way down to Alfornada to fight Tulip, the Psychic-type gym leader. A rather big concern for us due to Koraidon being both 1, a fighting type, and 2, currently possessing a poison Terra typing. This is more than likely going to go poorly for us. First up though, we gotta warm up the fight with Nemona to deal with. One thing that I learned is that her Sliggoo's Dragon Pulse was actually able to out-damage leftover healing, so that's good to know for later fights. 16 turns later, we bested Nemona, began the Psychic Gym's gym test, and nearly died in the process. Yeah! During the combined 18 total turns needed for the gym trainers, Koraidon refused to attack an Indeedee during the second gym trainer fight, and got down to 83 health due to a combination of Indeedee using Calm Mind to use Psychic more effectively. Not really a good sign if we're almost dead to the gym trainer before the actual gym fight, but we can manage, hopefully. Tulip time! Koraidon wasted most of its Sun Boost to not attack Fergaref. That kinda sucks. Gardevoir and Espathro weren't much of an issue, but we got dangerously close to losing this fight with Koraidon only having 60 HP left once we beat Florges. But yeah, the whole Tulip fight took 17 turns, one less than the entire gym gauntlet leading up to her. But man, am I grateful we had those leftovers equipped. With Tulip defeated, we gained the 7th gym badge. And while usually, according to the progression curve of this game, The next challenge would be Grisha, the Ice-type gym leader. As per what I said at the beginning of this video, we have to skip over the 8th gym leader and go face off Team Star's Rukva squad, ran by young Master Ortega. After beating his tutor and former director of Uva Academy, Mr. Harrington, in only 5 turns, I healed up Koraidon, adjusted its move pool to replace Dragon Claw with the very powerful Terra Blast. We dove into the Rookbuck Star Barrage. With the addition of Iron Treads, the barrage was light work. Due to both Iron Treads and Orthworm being Steel types, it was easy enough to get through. Even though there was one minor issue. So laggy. Why is it only laggy here? Is it the flowers? But yeah, once we got to the actual fight against Ortega, after a rather long 25 turns later, we struck down the Rukba Starmobile and defeated Ortega, netting us the penultimate Team Star badge. But before we can go off and fight Cop Squad, we have one last test against the False Dragon Titan, located in the middle of Castle Royale. Thankfully, due to our poison Terra typing, it won't be as terrible a fight due to us resisting any dragon type moves it might hold. But after a very laggy trip through the lake, we reached the first round of the False Dragon Titan, Don Dozo, who died in a single hit. Round 2 versus the powered up Don Dozo, however, took us 4 times as long due to Koraidon continuing to hit itself. But we still netted a victory in the end. And then there's round 3, against the actual False Dragon Titan, Tatsugiri. It died immediately by a single collision course, much like Don Dozo did in round 1. Defeating both Titan Pokemon netted us the spicy Herba Mystica, the last one needed to heal up Arvin's Lavostiff and the fully recover Miraidon, gaining the ability for it to climb up vertical surfaces. With this, we are given one additional task by Professor Toro. Go back to the lighthouse on Poco Path and enter his lab, getting access to something important inside. Before we do that though, we made a quick detour to go grab the former False Dragon Titan, Tatsugiri, to add to our party. It should greatly assist us for the upcoming fight against Cap Squad. Afterwards, we healed up Koraidon and then went back to the lighthouse, readying ourselves for the fight against Armin. After learning that Arvin's totally real dad is trapped in the Great Crater of Paldea, and in order to assist him, we need to get the Violet Book, the one that Arvin has been carrying around this whole time that has held all the secrets about the Herba Mystica. We were then tasked to form a team to help us down within the depths of Area Zero, made up of all the friends we made along the way. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. If you've actually played Gen 9, you know all this. I'm just trying to talk and let the battle against Arvin play out, since Koraidon was absolutely pub stomping most of Arvin's team, taking a grand total of 11 turns, with the only real issue being Koraidon taking that brat after the Lavostiff joins in the fight. But yeah, with Arvin defeated, that is the Path of Legends fully completed. Now to finish Starfall Street with the fights of Aerie, Clive, and Cassiopeia. First thing I did before I went to fight Aerie though was to get access to the Pokemon Center in Glaciado, just so we could fast travel there once we finished up the Starfall Street storyline, as well as another bit of sidetracking to fight the 3 Dragon Sisters. Mainly to try and give Bombardier a bit of extra XP so it can assist us in this upcoming Star Barrage battle. Dragon Sisters weren't nothing to worry about. Each of them fell to a single blow from Koraidon, which was nice to see. Once we got to the actual base, however, we got a rude reminder as to why we run Terra Poison. Carmen, the grunt guarding the base, had a Croagunk with the move Toxic. Not making that mistake again. Thankfully, it only took us 3 turns to defeat Carmen, allowing us access to the gate, which I was then found out that Tatsugiri is too high of a level to help in the final base, due to it being disobedient, due to us not having the final gym badge. Whoops. So I had to make the executive decision and bring in Claw. Poor baby is gonna fucking die. This was by far the hardest Starbroad bout yet, but we managed to get it done. Now on to the real fight against the leader of Cap Squad, Aerie. Learning my mistake from fighting Carmen, the moment I saw Toxic Croak was the lead, I immediately activated Terra Poison. And even with all the luck we've had so far, I knew it had to run out at some point, and Aerie was said luck running out. It took a grand total of 31 turns to beat her, primarily on her Annihilate and the Cap Starbobile. Though I was surprised that her Pissamian lived a hit from Koraidon. Even if I was just using Shadow Claw, I would have thought that it would have been enough to kill it. Guess not. But yeah, with Cap Squad defeated, all that's left is the Cassiopeia fight. But first, the penultimate fight against Director Clavel. Clive. Cassiopeia. Director Clavel. Fight against Clavel wasn't too terrible. Outside of Oranguru taking its sweet time, keeping us asleep to heal up with Dream Eater. But nothing too terrible. 22 turns later, and we defeat Clive. Now we're ready to take on Keemstar's big boss, Cassiopeia. Miss Time. Penny. Clive. No. I really mean Penny. And now, unlike the Arven fight, I have a functional mic. So you'll be able to hear my live reaction as the fighting Keemstar's big boss. Take it away, live commentary Kirby. The big boss, Keemstar's Cassiopeia. I've heard the best boss music in this entire game. We're at Calicum Pulse. Let's have some fun. Please don't let this fight be like Arven's, where everything dies immediately. Ooh, outspeeds with baby doll eyes. That ain't good. Koraidon still kills. Yup. I don't need it yet. Koraidon, please! Oh my god. Another set of baby doll eyes. Finally! He didn't listen. Thank you, Koraidon. Thank you, Koraidon. It's sunlight gone. That sucks. This definitely sucks if I get paralyzed. Yep. Oh no. Here we go again. Time for the Parahacks. Collision course. Nap time. Yes. Because now I can sleep talk. Base Terra Blast, that sucks. What's left? It's Leafeon or Glaceon, so if I Sleep Talk again with Terrestrialization, I should be fine. Okay, that's fine. Thunder. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt a lot more than I thought it would be. Now what is this? Turn 2 of sleep? This is turn 3 of sleep. I'm not going to take the risk. Thank you. Collision course. Next is either Leafeon or Glaceon, and then lastly Sylveon. Yeah. Nap time again. That's fine, that's fine. Sleep talk time. Nope. It's turn 1 of sleep. Do I risk the 50-50? Sure. Baby doll eyes again. Kept sleeping. Okay, so now it's a 2/3 chance that he wakes up. Slow. Take the risk. Okay, good. Woke up. Turned away. That sucks. Ended up to notice. Is that crit? No, that was base. Thank you. And then there was one. Terra Blast time. Well, that's anticlimactic. Oh, it lived! It lived! That's right, it's probably running for... Yeah, it's running for Spec Attack now, I'm pretty sure. That... The credit on Spec Attack is abysmal. Well, this is gonna do nothing. Actually, more than I thought. Oh, now I'm losing special attack. Oh no. I just need one hit right on. Give me one. Loafing, that ain't good. Moonblast. Another loaf. Another moonblast. What even are my stats at this point? Serious question. Christ alive. Yeah, it's definitely running off of my negative special attack nature. Oh no. Yeah, that's GG's. That is Starfall Street fully done. Alrighty. And I lost count of how many turns that took. Voiceover Kirby, do the honors for me, would ya? Thank you. But yeah, with Penny defeated in only 19 turns, that is the second major storyline of Pokemon's Violet done. Starfall Street. Now, to finish off Victory Road, fight Grisha of Glaciado, and gain access to Koraidon's full potential. There's no gym trainers during the gym test for Grisha's gym. Just some janky snowboarding on Miraidon. So that's easy enough. And after doing a few minor edits to Koraidon's learn set, giving it something special for an upcoming fight later on, we can now swap back over to Live Common Kirby for the real fight against Grisha. Okay, time to lock in. Let's have a bit of fun with some game mechanics. Terra Fire Flame Charge. Because I recently learned how more mechanics when it comes to terrestrialization. Any non-priority / multi-hit move under 60 base power is raised up to 60 base power when terrestrialized. So we'll see how this goes. So far so good, I guess. I'm kind of nervous though. One wrong move and I could be just dead. Ooh, Titan. Are you pure ice? I do not remember if you're pure ice or not. Let's go Terra Blast. Oh no. Liquidation. Never mind, I did nothing. Lowering the defense kind of sucks, but still. Terra Blast. It's nap time. Keep spamming liquidation though, I'm going to be in trouble. Sleep Talk. Nope. And there goes my sun boost. That kind of sucks. Lost my sun boost. Lost my sun boost. And woke up. Another 2-turn nap kind of sucks. Not as much as my defense getting dropped. Good grief. That 4 No. No, that is 4. That's 4 defense drop stages, right? Yeah. Collision course. Thank you. Tighten down. All that stuff is Altaria, right? Yeah. Altaria. Let us... You know what? Yeah, let's just collision course. Collision course for the win? Question mark? Yep. Okay, that's the ball game. 8 turns, baby. And that is a fully trained Koraidon. I never have to worry about obedience again. Thank goodness. Obedience issues are gone. I can play the video game. Now that Grisha's defeated, Koraidon can finally listen to our commands without any issue. So, at this point, you won't be hearing much from me for a little bit because everything else past this point is the Elite Four and the champion fights. All of which are going to be easy due to Koraidon listening. Because, truth be told, the challenge ended here with Grisha. Now it's just the cleanup period for everything. I decided, you know what? Why not? Grind it out over Alcingus to make sure Koraidon is now at the optimal level. Max out that HP and attack stat. Dumped everything else into what little I had left into speed. Let's have some fun. Champion assessment. Where is she? She's not Kaskarafa. Which one is she? Hold on, I'm checking my script. Which one's Iono? Yeah. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she in my script? Lavencia. Almost half an hour of my life I can't get back from doing that fight. Iono. I wouldn't forget. Final question of the interview. Yes. They say you can fail the interview, but I don't really see how. Rika's first. if anything lives this fight, I'm gonna be kind of screwed. I doubt anything could live this fight. Collision course. I have maxed out Orichalcum. Oh. Max attack in the sun. I should have given it Heat Rock. I can cried on Heat Rock. What was I thinking? Make it so that the sun lasts all 6 turns of the fight. It's... Huh? Huh? It knows... What? I thought it was Sash. Dawnfang can have Sturdy in its move pool? Huh? I'm so confused. Glad I kept leftovers, I guess. The Doug. No, that does heal. Cool. Didn't think it would. Camera up. Sunlight's gone. Wait, if Sunlight's gone... The Elite Four only have 5 Mon? I could have sworn they had 6. I could have sworn the E4 had 6 Mons. I guess not. We're winning against Rika either way, so it doesn't really matter. Son of a gun. Claude protecting himself. It's fine. Does Poison Point count for protection hits? I guess not. Oh, might not have Poison Point. It might have Unaware. Let's look at the Elite Four, Don. I know at least 2 of her mods have Sturdy. Collision course time. Pressure. Oh. Might be a good time to do this then. Don't want to lose extra power points on Collision Core, so Terrafire Flame Charge might be the way to go. It's will more than likely still kill regardless. I'd be surprised if it wouldn't. Yeah, it kills. Simple as simple does. Bronzong. You, my friend, have heat proof. Do you have heat proof? We'll find out. Didn't matter at all. Heatproof didn't matter in the slightest. Magnezone. You have Sturdy. I know for a fact you have to have Sturdy. Yep. Do I get a burn? I don't think flamethrowers can burn, can it? Light screen. Why light screen? Next up is Tinkaton. I highly doubt it. Child. Mold Breaker. That does nothing. Gotta go through all the animations now. That's Poppy. Cry Child. Greatest character in all of Pokemon. It's Larry. Yeah, Larry. I should be fine. Nothing should be able to outspeed Koraidon, especially if I'm going to start spamming Flame Charge. Only issue is if he has like Altaria or Noivern. I think he has Altaria. I'm not sure about Noivern though. Time to get to work, Larry. What the? Trophies, you okay? Why is he looking up like that? There he goes. He's fixed. And dead. There it is. Taria. I knew he had one of the two. Dragon Claw. Staraptor. That sucks. Orichalcum Pulse should be able to counteract it though. Ooh, crit doesn't help. Crit doesn't hurt either. Heart, yes, heart. Bret Hart. Oricorio. Palm style. That doesn't have static, does it? Okay, it doesn't. I couldn't remember if Pom style had it or not. Flamigo. Let's go for the Drag Claw. I don't know why it's only at the Elite Four do you have to deal with the double stab Pokemon. You would have thought at least one of the gym leaders would have had a double stab on their team, but it's just not. It's only double stab Terra if you're in the E4 fights. There's the Noivern. I knew I remembered a Noivern in one of these fights. Hassel has the Noivern. And I doubt he has anything that has sturdy, so I should be able to just casually sweep through everything. Bar for another protect issue like with Clodsire. Flapple. Light work. Dragology. Oh, that's right. They're Dragon Sisters. That's why I'm like, why? That's where the Dex data for Dragology came from. So confused. Fought the three sisters trying to give XP before fighting Eri. It's been the better part of a week since I last did this part. Everything prior to this was all recorded and written and all before I got access to it. Excalibur. He's still gonna die to a single hit. Yep. And then there was one. Castle of the Elite Four has been dealt with. The last one. I can think of 3 mightier champions off the top of my head. Unless Paldea's trainers are just that bad, I don't see how they could lose to this fight. Gita is not a hard fight, especially with how the fight is made to begin with. The fact of, oh, let's have a Hazard set up Mon be her ace for some reason. It's kind of dumb. Spather down. Do you have sturdy? I'm gonna assume yes. Oh, no, you don't. No, it doesn't. So it's just a sort of standard base attack. It's okay. It's not a stat-based one. There it is. The Veluza. Go. And I already have one. I would say I doubt this thing outspeeds. Toxic Breed doesn't do anything. Top champion Gita defeated. And it did nothing. The dialogueless cutscenes, man. Larry. Her all-out power versus the Winged King. You know, I just realized, why did I even invest into health? I should have invested in speed. That's my bad. I'll reinvest everything when later. I'll redo how I want to do Groudon later. Okay, Palmot. I'm like 90% sure this doesn't count as a contact move, but I could be wrong. You know, it's based off of my physical attack stat, but I don't know if it makes a contact or not. That's cool. Doesn't that sort of share the one with Terra Dragon, though? Right. Earthworm. I'm gonna assume you don't have Earth Eater. Maybe you do. And Harsh Light faded. Final turn. Skeledirge. And she's gonna Terrifier. And then I just collision course in the win. And this is Victory Road done. Why is just a random Paldean Tauros in the back? Just a Paldean Tauros and a mouse, or a tandem mouse, no trader. Oh, this is the only one out of the 3 endings to have a full cutscene like this.
Back to voiceover Kirby now that we're starting the final storyline, The Way Home. I just want to discuss a few things about potential Pokemon content moving forward. I would like to do more Pokemon Challenge content. It's just mainly the time needed to put into these runs is something I can't really do a lot of the time. Like, this whole challenge run took me a week or so to complete due to the open world nature of this game. There's not really much that I'm blocked off by not completing a certain task or whatnot. If it was like the other games with a fixed storyline structure, I wouldn't have been able to complete this as fast as I did. Like the Pokemon Black Challenge with only Riolu, that took me at least 2 months to sit down and record everything, let alone script writing and audio recording, edits and all that. If I do any more challenge runs, it would either be for this game, due to the lack of any real restrictions due to it being an open world format, or it would be in a Let's Play style of video, simply because I don't want to just have a bunch of footage from challenge runs taking up so much space in my hard drive until I can fully finish the run, if that makes any sense. But before I continue with my discussion, we do have one more fight before we can truly end off this game. The fight against AI Toro. Take it away, live commentary, Kirby.
The best final boss theme of any Pokemon game thus far. And I'm counting like all the evil org stuff in the final boss stuff, because it's normally that who you're fighting. You're poison flying, I think? Oh, you're fire poison. Oh no. Ow. The elite speak. Moth down. Next is hands. Pretty sure hands is next. No, bundle. Because that's a collision course if I've ever saw one. Regulus is just another collision course. Next is next is either hands or thorns, I would presume. Yeah, thorns. Okay. Electric ground, if I recall. Another collision course regardless. Oh, electric rock, okay. Ne okay, hands. And then lastly, Valiant. Fake out. That sucks. It's fine though, I've already lost sunlight. I don't really have to worry. It lived? It just naturally lived that. Oh, damn. I can't believe it lived that. Three turns on Iron Hands. This is so inefficient. Up next is a bit of a problem, I just realized. Valiant is fighting Fairy. Terrafire, Terra Blast is all I really got. Booster Energy, activates Quark Drive. Attack with height. Yeah, let's not deal with that. If this outspeeds me, I'm gonna be upset. Shouldn't outspeed though. Shouldn't outspeed. Yeah, I win. GG. And that's the last thing Koraidon can do. What was that? Nine turns total? I think that's 9. If we're counting... Yeah, it should be 9. Because it took 2 additional turns for Iron Hands and 1 additional turn for Iron Moth. Yeah, 9. Took a Deus Ex Machina to defeat Koraidon. Literally just keeping it locked up in its Pokeball in order to not fight and win. Doesn't matter though. Miraidon's got this. What the hell is this moveset? Just gotta keep using Power Gem, I guess, until I'm able to Terrastalize to use Terra Blast. Ow. Charge. Why does yours get? Why does the AIs get charge? Of course. Oh, increase the special defense. Make this fight take even longer. Shut off the taunt. Pop in door then. Doesn't, yeah, but the Endure triggers first. The opposing Miraidon has to recharge now, though. So I can just... There's the terrestrialization. Where were you last turn? Yeah, it's an omnibus if I ever saw one. And now we Terra Dragon Fire. Terra Dragon Terra Blast, baby! Russian using Terra Blast off the rip. Now that I think about it. power gem does nothing. Miraidon Guardian of Paradise is dead. Ow, I just slapped the snot out of my mic. AI daddy issues defeated again.
I hope y'all really enjoyed this challenge run of Pokemon Violet with only a shiny level 100 Koraidon. I know it's a sort of mean thing to do with a challenge run of game where that using the box legendaries for that game. But I thought it would be kind of funny due to the whole obedience issue when it came to Koraidon. Special thanks to my friend Vance, the Bunny Moon Suite on Twitter. I would leave a link to their Twitter profile in the description and all that, but YouTube's been a bit moody when it comes to leaving links for other sites. So, bam! But yeah, thanks to them for making the thumbnail art for this video, as well as thumbnail art for my previous Pokemon challenge as well. But as I let the credits roll, without letting the actual music play, of course, because I don't want to get a copyright strike from Ed Sheeran, I just want to say thank you if you've watched this till the end. It really means a lot to me that you've watched this far. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you wish to see more stuff like this in the future. Subscribe if you have not. Leave some hype for the video as well, if that feature even works for small channels like this. But yeah, like always, my name has been KirbyCraft Games. If you've watched till the end, you're a real one, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.